Steem witnesses are at odds with the Steem community. Now, what I mean by that is proof of work chains, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero. If you're a miner, you get in there with your equipment. If you overpower others, you're going to get the block reward. Everybody has a chance. Now, with the delegated proof of stake chains, it's a little bit different. You're expected to do more. Even though a lot of these top 20 witnesses are telling me, well, all my job description is to witness blocks. It's like, that's not good enough. That isn't good enough on EOS. It's not good enough on Steem. I'm sorry, maybe it is. Maybe it is. You know, like there's been people who have graduated from high school in the United States that don't know how to read. And then we're all like, what? Like, how do you graduate high school and you don't know how to read? Like, how does that happen? How do you even get out of elementary school? But it happens when you hear about these stories. So when I look at the top 20 witnesses on Steem, that's the way I feel. I'm like, what has this person done? Like, how are they up here? And it's always been this shammy voting system. You got the App Freedom account. You got some other major players. And there's all kinds of weird stuff. And it's always been like that. It's always reeked of like unfairness. That has any kind of voting for like any kind of like content. It's always been super weird on Steem. It's part of the reason the attrition rates are so low. And a lot of the witnesses, they won't just kind of own up to that. That, yeah, this is messed up. We need to change this. There needs to be vote decay, and there needs to be a rotational system to knock people out of the top 20 and to let other people get a chance in there. Now, top 20 witnesses will say, oh, there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. I'm witnessing blocks. And they're one of the 50 to 60 accounts that are draining the system oftentimes. So we have good witnesses like Good Karma. He's always been working on eSteem, the mobile app. He's got eSteem Surfer. He's a good developer, has a good team around him. And that's what we need, more things that are like team-oriented. And if it's not team, if you're one-man team and you're doing a lot, okay, you know. But some of these guys who have not done anything more than a little bit of cheerleading, I don't get it. I really don't get it. So at the end of the day, it's actually causing a big problem on Steem, because there are some people that you can point a finger at and say, well, they haven't done anything and they're earning this. This is unfair. You know, there's so many issues with this. I'm out of here. And that's what's happened over time. A lot of people have kind of bled out. Now, we can't expect Steemit Incorporated to really produce anything. They have not fulfilled all their promises. There's been so many empty promises. It's been actually unreal. I don't think Steem Media tokens are ever coming out. I think that the Steem Witness situation is a pitiful example of any kind of, you know, resemblance, anything that was like fair, made any kind of sense, any respect. And I've seen hundreds of people try to, you know, start up witness nodes and take their hand at it and just failed and just were unprofitable, and then they shut them down. I've just seen that happen so many times. You have to commend them for like just getting in there and doing it. But as soon as they see what's going on, they're just like, I'm out of here. Now, why have I stuck around? I don't know. Like, to tell you the truth, I would have been a lot better off. And a lot of you guys have seen a lot of my buy orders here in the last couple months. You know, I've banged out tens of thousands of dollars pumping it into crypto, other projects. But I did retake a little bit bigger position back into Steem, because when this thing was falling, I was so mad, and I was like, you know what, the writing's on the wall, I've got to get rid of this. And then when Steem got down to 80 cents, I rebought in, and then it got lower, and I rebought in again. So my average is around 60 cents. Now, I know a lot of your guys' averages are higher than that at this point, and it is painful. I would much rather be a bag holder of stuff like Litecoin, Monero, Did You Buy, Doge, like, than I would be of Steem, because it has like drained my time as well. And it's really upsetting. But the reason is because there was so much potential. Literally from the beginning, when I got here in mid 2016, there was so much potential. It was so close. It was so close. And it is just getting further away from that. And there's a reason why it's dropped from number 3 on CoinMarketCap down to like under the 50s, you know, 50, 51, 52. And in a year's time, I kind of feel like if things go the way that they're going, it's going to be lucky to be on the first page of CoinMarketCap. And I'm serious about that. And I'm not trying to throw shade to the thing, because Actually, there's a great community on Steem. There's a lot of people who want to see Steem succeed. There's a lot of people who have invested a lot of money and time into Steem. We've got this issue with the witnesses. A lot of them aren't doing anything. A lot of them are using it to develop stuff on EOS. I kind of understand why they're doing that, but really, should there be a top 20 witness? If that's all they're doing, probably not. So let's just come out and instead of, when DLive used Steem as a funding platform to launch and go over to another chain, everybody was all upset. Everybody was all upset. And some of the top 20 witnesses, oh, there's a terrible. But actually, in reality, they were doing the same thing. They weren't doing much for the Steem blockchain, and they were working on EOS-related projects. So why don't we just come out and say it? Why don't we do a Steem Exodus project where we take some of the stuff that we've learned from Steem, and obviously not relying on Steemit Incorporated because they can't be relied on, and just go over and create a Steem community over on EOS.io software. Not necessarily on the EOS mainnet, not necessarily on the Telos mainnet. We actually create our own chain, and then we can have Steem media tokens. It's easy to deploy a token on the EOS.io software. I was a technical mentor in Sydney and in the San Francisco hackathon for Block One's EOS Global Hackathon. I'm pretty technical. I have a computer information systems degree from Purdue University. And with the right team, we could actually, basically take the community over there. Everybody would have an equal share. We wouldn't have these overpowering accounts initially. And if launched right, because to launch a crypto project properly, you have to have wide distribution. So let's just pretend, and this would not be set in stone, but everybody with over 500 Steem power would get an equal share on the new chain. And, basically the witness voting, it would be like the block producer voting and stuff like that. And that it would be kind of a little bit more carefully monitored initially. So it doesn't completely get out of control, just even right from the get-go, like it did on Steem. Other things as well, if the best things that we have seen on DLive, DTube, eSteem, busy.org, steemit.com, all the best things like that, put in one platform, and then have a mobile app that's actually congruent with that look and feel and the branding, that kind of thing. And then solve some of the voting related issues. You have to stop spam, but then also you need other revenue models. There'd be an internal ad revenue system and an external ad revenue system to keep, the system from basically just being speculation and just like winding itself into the ground. Is Steem always going to be there? Yes, it will always be there. If they circle jerk it down to 5 cents, it'll still be there. But that is not... It's not going to ever flourish or whatever. It's not ever going to basically do great. We've seen Steem and it has fallen from all-time highs. It's fallen worse than Litecoin, Monero, Ethereum, everything else, when it actually has a usable use case. So it should have been more insulated from the crypto crash than it was. To be honest with you, but why don't we just do that? And here's the problem. The problem's money. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's going to take tens of millions of dollars for the hosting, for images, video, all that kind of stuff. And to really do the development, it's going to take tens of millions of dollars. But if a good group of Steem witnesses who actually have the technical capabilities and stuff like that, and everybody band together, that we were actually able to extract enough funds out of Steem to then launch this other chain. And then you would still have your Steem, that maybe you gained from part of this or whatever. You still have your Steem account and stuff like that. But that we would be able to kind of bootstrap the launch of another ecosystem out on the EOS.io software. Let me know what you guys think. If you saw my last post, it was a little bit edgy. I did get one flag from OsBitBank. I've never had any interaction with him. It just so happened that he was at 100% voting power. And I've just seen this over time where a lot of the witnesses are not really engaged in the community and they're really out of touch with the community. really when it boils down to it. The post was fairly popular. It did get a fair amount of upvotes, and that wasn't just kind of tons of bot upvotes from me. I mean, I do have 16 accounts, but I only voted with one. And it went into the negatives because of the flag, and then it got back into the positives. But at the end of the day, it is not enough just to witness blocks on the Steem blockchain, and it never should be. Just like it's not enough to not be able to read when you graduate high school. It'd be like the same thing. We're not impressed. We're not impressed. Like, there's thousands of people on the Steem blockchain that are technical enough to run a witness node. And actually, there's people, look at Partico. They're down in the 52nd spot or something on the witness voting. Why? That's actually one of the best apps that's came out and that the community really loves. They really love the Partico app. So, but they're down at 52nd spot. And there's people up in the top 10 that don't do anything. So anyway, guys, that's my little rant. But what do you guys think about the Steem Exodus concept, that we actually use the Steem blockchain to fund a future project on the EOS.io software, and just come out and just say it? You know, there would be no secret. It wouldn't be like DLive being sneaky about it. We would just do it. So what do you guys think? Anyway, leave your comments below. Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter. See you guys.